Simon Rosenberg is director of the New Democrat Network, NDN, and a former Bill Clinton campaign advisor. Simon, thanks so much for being here. So
sure, Megan.
Now he's getting flack from the left and the right, by the way. But it's interesting to hear the left complain just because he wants to go to the Chamber of Commerce to extend a bit of an olive branch. This is part of his reaching out to business, effort. And you've got groups. I guess there's one in particular called the Agenda Project that says he should not even be meeting with the chamber officials and slamming the chamber in any sort of alliance with them. And you say what?
I don't agree with that. I mean, I think the president went to the chamber today to discuss a common American agenda. I mean, the things on the table were simple. Things like investing in infrastructure, improving our education, increasing our exports, corporate tax reform, which is important to the business community and our competitiveness. So it was a robust discussion, and I'm proud of the president and the chamber for pulling this off today.
Well, some of that they agree on. You know, the chamber gets criticized from some on the right because it has supported some of President Obama's initiatives, including this latest push for investment in infrastructure. Why? Because they must believe that helps businesses. So you got the right saying they shouldn't be pushing for that. But the chamber is very divided, Simon. I mean, because it likes things like that, but then it doesn't like things like the health care reform law. And they supported repeal. So what does President Obama hope to achieve by going and speaking to this group?
Well, I think the president really wants to fashion more working space with American business. The adversarial relationship that existed in the first 2 years of the administration wasn't to America's benefit, it wasn't to the chamber's benefit, it wasn't to the president's benefit. And I think he's trying to heal some of those wounds that developed in the last 2 years. And I think that, you know, what he put on the table on health care, for example, is, look, let's work to make it better. I mean, this movement to get rid of the 1099 reporting form, the president's already taken a very concrete step proposed by the Republicans in business.
They like that. But, the two sides just can't see eye to eye on the big picture when it comes to health care.
I understand, but
I don't want to get bogged down in health care. I want to stick to the chamber and the business issues today. Some people feel that this is hypocritical because President Obama, as you know, leading up to the midterm elections, went after the chamber. He went after Karl Rove, and he went after the Chamber of Commerce, and so did his supporters, accusing them of taking foreign money and funneling it into the election, a claim that was debunked, including by many left-wing publications and pundits. So they feel that maybe now it looks hypocritical for him to stand before the chamber and say, kumbaya.
I don't think so. I mean, I think the president is clearly trying to fashion a new agenda for America's competitiveness. And look, business should be happy right now, Megan. I mean, corporate profits are way up. They're sitting on tons of cash. The stock market has come back a long way. The unemployment number has dropped very significantly in the last couple of months. The economy is clearly improving, and corporations are doing pretty well. But there's more we can be doing, and I think that's what the president put on the table. He's made it clear that the next 2 years of his presidency is going to be an awful lot about getting America into the 21st century economy in a better way than we had over the last decade. He can't do that without business in the Chamber of Commerce, and that's what he did today.
But his detractors say it's all a shell game. They say it's all for show. They say, look, he hasn't moved anywhere. He told Bill O'Reilly in his interview last night, I haven't changed my ideological shift or focus. I am where I always was. And they say, look, the real belief of this president is not pro-business. It's not pro-free market. It's this. Look, here's a clip from last year.
Okay.
We're not trying to push financial reform because we begrudge success that's fairly earned. I mean, I do think at a certain point you've made enough money, but that part of the American way is you can just keep on making it if you're providing a good product or you're providing good service.
Right. That's what they think of when they think of President Obama toward the free market economy in America. At some point, you've made enough money. I do think you need to spread the wealth around. I'm not here to protect the Wall Street fat cats. And so some folks who don't like his policies say that's the real President Obama, and the rest of this is just show to try to win over independents before we have the next presidential election.
Well, obviously, I don't agree with that, and I think if the proof is in the pudding on where the economy is going, if this guy was a socialist rabble-rouser, why are corporations doing so well in America today? Clearly, corporate America is prospering under this president and this presidency. And I think what he's saying, Megan, is that there's more we can do together. That there's improvement. We can find common ground. And I think he's very sincere. Look what he's rolled out in the last 2 weeks. We've had two of the most important American businessmen in the last 25 years, right? The head of GE, the founder of AOL, come on board the administration to work with this administration to promote exports and more domestic job growth. And so I think the president is very sincere that he's saying, I know I can do a better job. We can create more jobs. We can increase our competitiveness. We need to work together or America won't be well served. And I think this was a sincere effort today at the Chamber. Certainly the Chamber feels that it was. And the statements the Chamber's been making today is taking face value and saying we can work with them.
They're actually going to sit down with Brett Baer tonight on special report. But I just want to let our viewers know the latest on the unemployment. Just want to update you because this just crossed today. For those who have a job in this economy, you are less likely to lose that job now than at any point in the last 14 years. That is the good news. The bad news is people without jobs are staying unemployed for longer periods right now. Of the 13.9
So, Megan, there's more we can do. There's more we can do.
About almost 2 million had been without work for almost 2 years. So there's good news and there's bad news in all these economic reports. Simon, all the best to you, sir. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, Megan. Thank you.
Well, 3 young Americans were hiking in the Middle East when suddenly